Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 BLAEDC annual meeting. I want to thank everybody for coming to support BLAEDC this morning. Wonderful attendance. I think Pat said we had around 70 folks and nearly all of them showed up, so we appreciate that. I'm Terry McFarland, President and CEO of Anderson Brothers Construction. I'm also the President of the BLAEDC board. I'll just take a minute here to introduce our board members. John O'Lee, President of River Band, Vice President, Julie Anderholm, Anderholm Consulting, Julie the President. Jim Hawkinson, Principals with Larson Allen, Julie, our past President. Our other board members, Mike Dillon, President, Lexington Manufacturing. Tom Hagelin, CEO, Lindar. Sandy Zeltzwiecek. From the Deception. Harris Charlier, CLC. A new board member, we're happy to have her. We have Andy Isaacson as well from CTC as a new member as well. A couple of outgoing members this year were Carla Gorgas of Pequot Tool and Janelle Riley of Savantis, so we can give those folks a hand too. At this time, I'd like to have Jim Hawkinson come up. We'd like to recognize Jim, take a moment to recognize him as our past president, and thank him for his dedication, experience, leadership through the 2023 year, and for always keeping BLAEDC's mission, membership, and the business community at the forefront. So we want to thank Jim for that. Thank you. And I'm sure Haley wants to give a shot in here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll do this myself.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
There's a box.
I'm going to turn it over to Tyler, our executive director, and he's going to introduce our featured speakers. So, thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Terry, for getting us kick-started here. I just want to thank all of you for attending this morning. I'll have a few comments, and then I'll turn it over to our speakers. This isn't about coming and listening to me talk. I want to thank Terry and our board for their support over this the past year. 2023 was again a really exciting year for BLAEDC and for our business community. And as we transition into 2024 and looking at the room and seeing our community partners here with the city of Nisswa, with the city of Baxter, with the city of Brainerd, obviously the county here as well. So we're very thankful for their support and the continued work that we do with those communities. Every community has their own challenges, and we recognize that, but the things that we're working on and continue to work on today, focusing on how we're going to improve our housing in our communities, how we're going to continue to improve childcare. As most of you saw in the last year now, the Brainerd YMCA has opened up their new facility, as well as a secondary facility at the First Lutheran Church, and adding over 100 slots of childcare into our communities, which is tremendous. But we aren't even scratching the surface on that. I can talk about state numbers, I can talk about local numbers. We're still roughly 1,000 slots short of available childcare in Crow Wing County. It isn't a problem that's going away anytime soon, but we do have folks in our communities that are looking at this and trying to solve this problem. But it takes all of us to solve this problem. There's wage discrepancies with regards to this. Our partners at the Initiative Foundation are doing some great things with regards to covering tuition at Central Lakes College and as well as Pine Tech. So if an individual wants to go and get licensed to be a child care provider, the Initiative Foundation will cover the cost of that tuition. So getting into a program like that and getting into a career where you're already a leg up with regards to it being paid for, that's a tremendous, tremendous asset that we have available to us in our community. So thanks to the Initiative Foundation for addressing that. They've been a great partner of ours with regards to this process. The county, the county continues to lead, I think, our state with regards to how they use their COVID money. We had another round that some funding that came back to the county in 2023 that we assisted the county with, again, getting these grant dollars out and getting them out to child care providers to help them try and solve this problem. So we are very thankful for the partnership that we have with the county, and we'll continue to have that partnership, I hope, is far into the future. So a couple things. One, I want to recognize our staff. We have Mike Birkness, who's our workforce director. I know Mike's in the room somewhere. I think he was hiding in the back somewhere, but no, there he is. But another great year with the workforce program with BLAEDC. And I know this program is coming into its 9th year, I believe in October of this year. Getting close to over 100 people that Mike has hired over the last 9 years with this program, which is unbelievable. If you look at him today and you say, hey, he probably looks like he's lost weight, it's probably because of the last month of work that he's been doing. He told me again this morning, and I know these numbers as well, but he's hired 3 CFOs in the last 2 months into our area. He's in the middle of working with Essentia Health and the Brainerd Surgery Center and hiring a new administrator over there. Working with the city of Cross Lake right now to address their outgoing, they need to replace their city administrator. So Mike is working on that as well. There's just a lot of really quality jobs in our community, and thankfully we have Mike leading that program and has done a tremendous job of bringing great individuals into our community. 2023 saw him hire 11 new people, along with 7 spousal referrals. And the spousal, we know that the spouse is it's a very big component to keeping and maintaining the job that Mike is hiring for. If somebody else is taking a job in our area and they're looking to make sure that trailing spouse has a position, Mike will work with that as well. So thanks to Mike and all the work that he does. Allison Medic, Allison is in the back of the room. She's our Special Initiatives Director. Allison does a fantastic job with everything that goes on in our office, and our office runs smoothly because of the work that she does. So thank you very much for everything that you do. And Haley's had to switch seats today, so Haley Majerus, which is our marketing director, marketing manager, she does everything that you see that we put out social media-wise, our website. That all comes from Haley, and she does a fantastic job. She's celebrated 1 year with us back in March, so we're very happy to have her on our team. The last couple of comments I just want to make before I turn it over to Commissioner Lupke. I know that Carlo and Janelle aren't with us today here, but they left our board at the end of 2023. Carlo had served 12 years on our board. 12 years is a long time to serve on any board, but the support that he provided to us, and he was one of our past presidents, did a fantastic job, and very thankful for the service that he provided to our organization. And then Janelle Riley with Savantis Technologies. Janelle left our board after 9 years. We made some changes to the term limits on our board last year, and nine years is now the full amount that you can actually serve on our board. So very thankful and appreciative for Janelle's service to our board as well. And very excited to bring Harris Charlier, the president of Central Lakes College, onto our board, and Andy Isaacson, the chief marketing officer at CTC, onto our board. Brings a new vision, new experience, and just tremendous impact to our board. So we're very, very thankful for both of you coming and joining us this year. So thank you for that. The last thing I want to say is, when you guys walked in, and where's Mike Paulus? I know he's in the room somewhere. There's Mike. So Mike is my counterpart in Cass County, and last year Allison and I attended Mike's annual meeting during the summer, and one of the things he was really excited about was his hype video. So his hype video is, he had a company come in and produce some videos for Cass County, and did a really, really nice job. When you walked in today, you were probably seeing this, you were seeing the videos that we worked on and that we produced over the last year and a half, working with a company locally called Rawfish. We've got 3 30-second videos, we've got a 1-minute video, what else we got?
7-minute video.
A 7-minute video, so if you really want to know about economic development in Crow Wing County, you can come on and watch a 7-minute video. Sorry, Mike. But no, it's that stuff sits out on our website. We're really excited. They did a wonderful job. Followed me and around at a couple of the site visits that we had. Our new apartment complex that is open now in Baxter, that we partnered with them to wander through the facility with me. And then the tour of Cloud Stamping and their new expansion out there. And that's a lot of the videos that you'll see is Reggie and I walking the floor and him explaining the history of their company, but also why they're expanding and some of the things that they're working on. And if you follow them on social media, you'll see their autonomous machines that have been delivered out there, so they're going to be really doing some cool things with their new space. So that was a lot of fun to do, and I'm really happy that we got that done. And that was one of the things that the board 2 years ago, when we rebranded our organization and went to the efforts that we did, and the directive from them was, okay, now we've done this, now let's promote it. Let's really get it out there. Let's talk about it. And these videos certainly do that, and our awareness and our brand has done some really good things for our organization. So thank you for that. So now it'll be to my honor to introduce Commissioner John Lupke. Commissioner Lupke serves District 2. That's up in the Pequot, Jenkins. He's the former mayor of Jenkins, so I'm sure he'll mention that once or twice. No? Okay. But he is the current board chair of the Crow Wing County Commissioners, and he is also the liaison for the county to our board. So thankfully, Commissioner Lupke attends our board meetings and provides some great county insight to our board and to our attendees at our board meetings. So without that, Commissioner Lupke.
Thank you for letting me be here today. I've got some things Tyler gave me like 5 minutes to do this, and I don't think he knows that 5 minutes I can't even get warmed up in that. So he's laid down a challenge for me today, and I'm going to do my best up here. But I'm just going to go over a little bit of what's going on here in Crow Wing County. And so what I want to let you know, first I'm going to give you a 30,000-foot view. You know, in Minnesota there's 87 counties. And in those 87 counties right now, Crow Wing ranks up there in about 14th place in population. Take the 7 metro counties out of there, and Crow Wing ranks up there about in the top 10, which I think is with 67,000 people. When you pull in the recent report, there was Star Tribune in a recent report that showed our county growing at a rate since 2020 of about 3.3% in population. The other thing is our neighboring counties around us also grew. Cass had a 4.5% increase in population. Aiken County, I think, had a 2.5%, I have in my notes, in population. But that's based upon, percentage based upon their population. And I think Cass is sitting in the 30,000 population count. So, but what that means for us in the Brainerd Lakes area is we are the economic hub for this kind of area. So it's really good for our businesses and our economic development that we have in Crow Wing County. Also, this is something I want to bring up is in 2023, Crow Wing County sent out $242 million worth of building permits, construction permits for property. What's interesting is of those $242 million, 100 million of those were residential properties off lake, which I don't think everybody, you look at the overall number and everybody talks about our lakes, but residential properties, $100 million of residential properties across the county off lake, it's still not enough. You know, it's still not enough. But I'm going to try to keep on track here. Also in checking with land services, countywide valuation of all properties, and I think everybody here has known that we've had a lot of property increases over the years. Across the whole county, we're up 4.9% property valuations, which I think is less than it's been in previous years. So that maybe should help with some of that. In the beginning of 2024, the county board voted that our comprehensive plan, it's well over 20 years old. And we were looking at previous board members were looking at doing that plan before COVID hit to redo that. We're into it now. We're a little behind the 8 ball with everything that's happened in Crow Wing County to get our ordinances, our land uses, and everything brought up to date. And we should have that done by the end of the year. And what I'd like you guys to do if you have a chance, check our website. Our website will show where we're at in that progression of our comp plan. It's a very, very important thing for a county to have a very, very viable comp plan for what we have coming on in our county with the growth that we're projecting in the next 20 years in our county. With an annual budget of over $107 million for the Crow Wing County and 500 employees, one of the things I think that people don't realize is of that $107 million of our budget, only $48 million of that budget comes actually from taxes. You know, the county is mandated pretty much by the state to provide a lot of services. So the rest of those dollars come from the state. The rest of the $60-some million come from the state. And some of the mandates that we have aren't always funded by the state. So we have a lot of work to do in our offices. Right now, we're in the middle working on our 2025 budget. And the senior management team is working very hard, and us as a county board, to keep it under 3%. And as I think business owners out here knowing with the employment situation, the cost of equipment, the cost of everything else, we take our budget real serious at Crow Wing County. And we're going to work really hard and diligently to keep it under 3%. That is our goal. As you read in the paper, our county administrator, Tim Wool, is retiring in July after 30 years in public service, 16 of those years in Crow Wing County. He told me when I was elected in 2022 that I would be on the board that would help to find his replacement. He's a heck of a guy to replace, and I don't know for the people here who worked with him. I've worked with him as a mayor. I've worked with him now for the last year and a half as a county commissioner, and it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with him. He is an awesome guy. So as he leaves in July, if any of you had some contact with him and stuff, please reach out and thank him for what he's done for Crow Wing County and for the people here. And next week we'll be voting on his replacement. And a lot of people have talked about, why didn't you go outside to look for that? Why didn't you go here to look at that? Because of his administrative leadership that he's given our county over the last 16 years, with his really ability to train people up, we have the bench strength at our county to find a replacement inside, which our board feels is the best thing for the county and the people we serve in the future, because they will know our culture. And we have a culture here at Crow Wing County, I think a very good culture. So that's, I wanted to make a real point of that, because I think we've had some criticism of people saying, why didn't you go out looking elsewhere? We have the bench strength, we have the people at our county to be able to do that. So, kind of closing this up a little bit, the answer in how the state of our county is, the state of our county is good. It's really good. And it's because of you people out here. It's because of the partnership, and I wasn't here during COVID, but I do know that Brainerd Lakes Area Development Corporation was very much involved in getting all that stuff done, to helping that. And we still look upon you as a partnership for what we do here at Crow Wing County, because I think even though we have different roles to play, even though we have different tools in our toolbox, we're all here because this is Minnesota's best place to live, work, and raise your family. That's all I have. So, well, I actually have more, but I'm doing the best I can. Glenn, thank you.
It is going to be challenging to replace Tim. He's been a great partner of ours, and he's someone that I rely on pretty heavily for a lot of different things that go on in this county. And so it's I'm sad to see him go, but I also know that retirement is something he's looked forward to. So it'll be fun to watch you guys find his replacement. And I know, as you said, you've got great candidates internally, so happy for that. So now on to the I guess the meat of our meeting here today. So it's my honor to introduce Max Zappia. Max is the Chief Regulatory Officer at the Minnesota Office of Cannabis Management. He's here with us today. We'll discuss the implementation of the state's cannabis laws, overviewing this year's legislative process, and the next steps for the agency. I mentioned this to Max when he came in this morning. In the last couple of weeks, no less than a half a dozen times have I been asked if he brought samples. He's informed me that he has not. But he probably has a couple funny stories around this anyway. But anyway, it is my honor and privilege to welcome Max Zappia.
Is it on?
Huh?
Is it on?
Let's see. Daily.
It's on. All right, good morning, everyone. I am Max Zappia. I am currently the Chief Regulatory Officer for the Office of Cannabis Management, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I have family in the area, and I also am really excited to be out of St. Paul, and I'll get into that a little bit for why. So, just about me, I was born and raised in Minneapolis. However, my parents now live just north of McGregor, so I spend a lot of time in this area. And I will say, last month, my daughter turned 8, and I found out that Brainerd has a hidden gem in the Copper Cat escape room. If you haven't been there, check it out. I also would not bring an 8-year-old. But it's really nice, and they do a great job, so just a plug there. So prior to my work in cannabis, I was a bank regulator, so my tires are slashed before I leave today. I'm talking to John. We get along great, but regulators are obnoxious. And just in general, before I kick into our topics, I'm much more interested in a conversation than just a presentation. This is a pretty complex issue, and it also means a lot of different things to different people. So what questions are important to you are what we can focus our time on today. And this presentation slides are pretty light, so. Probably obvious already, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, nor do I necessarily speak for the entirety of the Office of Cannabis Management. These are my opinions alone. So, history of cannabis, or I should say legislative action around cannabis in Minnesota. In 2014, we got a medical program, which was at the time and still considered one of the most conservative and fine or detailed medical programs in the state. There's only 2 registrants and about 40,000, give or take, medical patients in that. As far as other medical programs, that's pretty low. That is one of the contributing factors to kind of the timeline of rolling out the entire program. Other states have started from a bigger medical program than we have. In 2018, the federal farm bill delisted hemp, which they define as basically the same plant, but it only has 0.3% THC by dry weight. THC is not the fun stuff. So it is essentially the kind of beer you can buy at the gas station of the cannabis world. In 2022, lower potency hemp was legalized. So at that point, you could take that hemp and turn it into some kind of consumable up to 5% milligrams of THC.
Could you speak into the microphone?
Thank you. How's this?
That's better.
Okay. Fast forward, 2023, there is now a trifecta between the Senate, House, and the Governor's Office, and adult use cannabis is passed, and we are now in 2024, which has been just the funnest legislative session I've ever been part of, and it has not, recent news around the Senate has not alleviated those challenges. All right, so Minnesota Statute 342 is what now dictates adult use cannabis in the state. It creates the Office of Cannabis Management. It also decriminalized cannabis as of August 1st of 2023. However, it's not legal to sell without a license. There could be a question about why that is. The legislator will speak for themselves, but my assumption it was a strong effort to decriminalize while giving the commercial market time to be formed. Currently, the Department of Health regulates the lower potency hemp market, so that what you find in the gas station and smoke shops, liquor stores, that's regulated through them. Although I will say that if you're seeing, we call it flower, but the stuff you smoke, that's not legal, and they shouldn't be selling that. Broad stroke there's a small version that it is, but generally speaking, if it's worth smoking and it's being sold in Minnesota, you should not buy it. Licenses is going to be the main regulatory component, and those have not been issued yet. We are working through that process. We'll talk a little bit about the timeline and the law that currently has a social equity component. Broadly speaking, it appears to be providing benefit to those that have otherwise been harmed by the state's drug policy today. All right, so we're going to do licenses out of the Office of Cannabis Management. There's 16 or 13 different kinds, depending how you split it. They're going to go a couple different ways. They're going to be split up by size. So you'll have a micro business, which is a smaller storefront or producer. You'll have a meso business, which is a medium size and has a variety of storefronts. And then a cultivator, broadly speaking, they can't have storefronts. You're also going to have a license just to manufacture or transport and test component as well. The law is very intentional that with limited exceptions, there's not going to be vertical integration. So if there is a business that does one, it can also be a business that does another. The tribes are a huge part of this law. They have the ability to sell and grow on their land without the regulation of the state. And to the extent they want to interact outside of tribal land, that's going to require compacting, similar with the gaming that we saw decades ago. Local control is going to be a significant portion of that. I don't know how much fun you've been having with those conversations yet. That will keep going. The short version is that local government can have a moratorium on licenses until January 1st of 2025. After that, the moratorium is void, and a business that wants to operate within a local government will come to that local government to have a confirmation that its operations fit with zoning ordinances. We are working through the rulemaking process. Rulemaking is really lengthy in Minnesota, so we expect to continue to work on that through the rest of the year and potentially into early next year. There will be public comment periods, and we've posted several surveys to understand what the state wants the rulemaking to look like. One of the, kind of from a business perspective, a relevant issue for the state's cannabis laws is there are going to be license caps. The law that was passed in 2023 implies the existence, but doesn't explicitly establish them. The laws that are going through both chambers of the legislature actually establish specifically what those are. And there's a lot of discussion around how it's decided, who gets it, and why. For your purposes, if you're looking at investment or development, especially for the larger business types like cultivation or meso business, no one knows yet who's going to get the license. So if anyone's talking to you saying I have a great business plan, they may, and it's worth looking into. but there's going to be probably more applications than licenses, so that's something to keep in mind as we kind of get towards the process of actually issuing licenses. Smaller businesses, that's probably going to be less restrictive. So something you can keep in mind. It's unclear at this point which ones exactly will be capped and which ones won't, and what that's going to look like. We'll find out between now and May 20th. All right, so broadly, what I would think this looks like for the Brainerd Lakes area. John made a good point about how robust the activity is in this county. So I think it's going to look a lot like what we expect down in the metro. There's going to be license activity. There's probably going to be multiple different kinds of that, whether it's grow, manufacture, or to sell. This is an industry that is going to be starting from scratch, and it is also extremely capital intensive to start up. There will be some growing that is outdoors. However, what we've seen from other states is the products that are most in demand are going to be grown indoors, and we're talking about development costs between $300 to maybe $700 per square foot for 30,000 square foot canopy operation. So this is going to be very capital intensive. There's still going to be a little bit of unlicensed sale. My team will do everything we can to stop that, especially as we get this program running. That's something we're going to work through, and we'll be very diligent about that. Local control, especially over the next 12 months, will play a huge role in what this looks like for local areas. All right, so that's broad strokes. What questions do you have for the Office of Cannabis Management?
Any questions, but probably with the legislative session, I'm sure things are going to change pretty quickly. But I really appreciate Max coming down or coming up here and spending some time on this. I know this is a very complicated topic, and it's going to be impactful for our communities moving forward. So thank you very much. I found it quite interesting, and I'm sure there's still a lot more questions, but we'll get those dealt with as they come forward. But a big thank you to my board for all of the support that they provide to not only me but to our staff on a day in, day out basis. Happy to probably bring our annual meeting to a close, but if anybody has any questions or comments for us, please reach out. I think we'll be posting Max's talk online here so people can come out and see this and get some more information for those that weren't able to be in attendance today. So with that, I will thank you all and let you off to your day.